Economics for Everyone, Micro and Macro by Stanley Thuku Waithaka. What is economics? Economics is very important to each one of us. Children, old people, communities, countries, continents, etc. It is a social science. Social because it deals with people. It focuses on how people deal with scarcity, which will be explained later. It plays a major role in everyday's life. To understand what economics is, it's important to talk about human needs and wants. Human beings have got needs. These are the basics for survival, i.e., necessities for survival. They are food, shelter, and clothing. If you miss any of these, we will not survive. We will die. We as human beings have got wants also. Unlike needs, wants are the desires to make our lives more comfortable. That means when it comes to food, we want better food. When it comes to shelter, we do not just want shelter, but we want better and more comfortable shelter. And same with clothes. Not just clothes for survival, but for comfort. These wants in economics never end. We say that wants are unlimited, meaning that we keep on wanting. When we get the food that we thought was better, we think of even better food than that. When we get shelter, which is better than what we had in at the beginning, e.g., we have a better house, maybe a house in a better area, we start thinking of even better shelter, maybe a different location, bigger house, maybe more expensive house, etc. So these ones are said to be unlimited. We keep on wanting. We keep on wanting. They never end. We use the word unlimited. Unlike needs, which are limited. Once we have satisfied our hunger need, that's it. But for wants, we keep on wanting better and better and better. Now, economics as a discipline focuses on wants. It focuses on wants. And before we explain this further, I'd like to say that for us, for these wants to be satisfied, there is need for production to take place. Basically, what we are talking about, we are saying that people need goods and services. That is, people want goods and services. Houses, cars, furnitures, and services such as education, security, etc. So people need goods and services. Goods are tangible, I say to be tangible, and services are intangible. That means goods can be touched, we can feel them, we can touch them, while services are intangible. Services are intangible. Right. These goods and services need to be produced. They need to be produced. And this brings us to this word production. What is production? Production is a creation of utility. We use the word utility in economics to refer to usefulness. When somebody or something is made more useful, we say that production has taken place. For example, when raw materials are converted to finished goods, production has taken place. Finished goods are more useful to somebody than raw materials. When a teacher makes his or her learners more useful through educating them, production has taken place. So we need goods and services. We need goods and services. What do we need to produce? These goods and services. To produce these goods and services, we need the factors of production. These factors of production are 4: land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. And they are generally referred to as resources. They are referred to as resources. And in economics, we say that these resources are scarce. That means they are not enough. They are limited. When you talk about scarcity, it's not the same as poverty. They're not the same. Scarcity affects everyone, including the poor and the rich. Even the richest person on earth will have unsatisfied wants, and therefore scarcity applies to them. They will not have everything they want. Now, we are still trying to explain economics. We have not explained economics. We've talked about human needs and wants. Yes. Economics focuses on wants, human wants, which are higher than the needs. And it can be defined as the study of the allocation of scarce resources to satisfy unlimited human wants. I'll repeat. Economics can be defined as the study of the allocation of scarce resources to satisfy unlimited wants, human wants. Remember, the resources we are talking about are the factors of production, which are needed to produce the goods and services that human beings want. We have said that wants are higher than the needs, because we are going for better goods and services. And therefore, economics focuses on these. Economists focus on wants. Because if we can satisfy wants, definitely we'll have taken care of our needs. We'll have taken care of our needs. It is important to note at this point that because resources are scarce, they are not enough. We don't have enough land. We don't have enough labor. We don't have enough capital. And we don't have enough entrepreneurs. It is important that these resources are allocated in the most efficient way possible. We have already defined economics. We have said that economics is the study of the allocation of scarce resources to satisfy our unlimited wants. The keywords here are scarce. That means the resources are not enough. And the other keyword is allocation of these scarce resources. They need to be allocated. And the other keyword is unlimited wants. They need to be allocated to satisfy unlimited wants. Now, this brings us to the concept of scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. Since wants are unlimited and the means to satisfy these wants are limited, that is, the resources to produce the goods and services that people want are not enough, then we cannot have everything that we want. And therefore, we must make choices every day as individuals, communities, countries, etc. Now, we cannot have everything. We have to make a choice. And it is important to note that each time we make a choice, we deny ourselves something. We are making a choice. We are choosing something out of some other alternatives. And that means when we take one option and leave the other, or one alternative and not the other, then it means that we deny ourselves the other. We sacrifice the other. This sacrifice in economics is called opportunity cost. The opportunity cost. It can also be defined as the benefit that we forego as a result of making a choice. We forego this. If you buy a pair of shoes and you deny yourself a pair of trousers, then you have bought shoes and sacrificed a pair of trousers. You have forgone the benefit of you having a trouser. So that's the benefit forgone as a result of making that choice. We can also say that, we can also define opportunity cost as the next best alternative. Why next best alternative? Because we have several alternatives. For example, if you buy a pair of shoes, the same money could be used to buy a pair of shirt, a pair of trousers, a book. So those are various alternatives. But out of these alternatives, what we are saying, you miss the best. One of them is better than the three. They are the three of them. The best is the one that you have missed. We take the best as the one that you have missed. So we can say opportunity cost is the next best alternatives. The best of the three. Yes. And we've noted that each time we make a choice, we have sacrifice, and this sacrifice is the one that we are calling opportunity cost. Opportunity cost, which we have said can be defined in these three ways. The sacrifice that we make when we make a choice, the benefit forgone when we make a choice, the next best alternative when we make a choice. Now, this concept can be explained using a production possibilities frontier, which is also referred to as PPF, production possibilities frontier. Now, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Now, to explain this, we need to take a community which is depending on agriculture and is producing two products, maize and beans, on its land. This community can either put all its resources, that is the factors of production, into production of maize, for example. If the community produces maize only, as we can see on the table, that is production possibilities schedule that is on the screen, it means that that community will only produce maize, and it will be able to produce 100 kilograms of maize per day. And because of all the resources have been put into production of maize, not beans, then it means that it will produce no beans at all, 0 beans. That is a possibility, is a choice. And we are referring to that choice as A. The other choice is the community can decide, okay, let's produce some beans and maize. Now, because resources are scarce or limited, for us to increase production of beans, we have to reduce the production of maize from 100 to 80. That is another choice. And then we'll be able to produce 1 basket of beans. That is possibility B or choice B. Choice C, 2 baskets of beans and 60 kilograms of maize. So note that to increase one, we are reducing the other because resources are scarce. So we are using this schedule to explain scarcity. To increase one, we must reduce the other. And the same applies to maize. If we decide to produce beans only, we'll produce 5 baskets of beans and no kilogram of maize. Now, if we decide to produce some maize and some beans, then we will need to reduce the production of beans and produce some maize. That means production of beans will fall from 5 to 4, and then we'll be able to produce 20 kilograms of maize. This we are doing because the resources are limited. To produce maize, we must reduce beans. And if we want to increase maize further, we must reduce beans further. Right. That is the concept, the choice. We are explaining the concept of scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. Scarcity, to increase one, we must reduce the other. Yes. Opportunity cost, we make a sacrifice. The opportunity cost of producing 100 kilograms of maize is what we'll miss of beans, that is 5 baskets of beans. And vice versa. The opportunity cost of producing 5 baskets of beans is 100 kilograms of maize. Now, on the other hand, if we decide to produce 80 kilograms of maize, the opportunity cost of that will be 4 baskets of beans. And that will be the opportunity cost, the sacrifice that we make, the benefit that we miss of what we miss of the other. If we produce 100 kilograms of maize, we'll miss 5 baskets of beans because we are using all our resources in production of maize and vice versa. So we have explained the concept of scarcity using the production possibilities curve, production possibilities schedule, and this schedule can be plotted into a curve as C. We have all the points A, B, C, D, E, F, those are the choices, and because resources are scarce, the points outside the curve cannot be produced. Point G is impossible. But point H, which is inside the curve, is possible, but if we produce at that point, our resources will be underutilized. So it is the same information which is put in form of a curve. Yes. And it shows what is possible and what is not possible. When we are producing along the curve, we'll be maximizing on the use of our resources. Inside the curve, we are underutilizing our resources. Outside the curve is impossible because the resources are scarce. We'll talk more about this as we move on. Thank you for watching this video. Please remember to click on the like and the subscribe button below. The book is on special at Amazon.com for only $1.99 US. Feel free to give your comment and keep tuned for the next video.